what is the purpose of life according to Vedic teachings. If we say in a sentence, if we understand this question, or if we answer this question in a sentence, then the general purpose of life is to realize one's true nature, the Atma, and its relation with Paramatma, or the Super Soul. So, the general purpose of life can be understood as to realize the self, the true nature of the self, and to understand its eternal nature with that Super Soul, or Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Or we can say to realize the self and to attain the liberation, moksha. So, as per the Vedic teachings, the purpose of life is actually multifaceted and aiming ultimately at realizing one's true nature, one's true self or the soul, and achieving the moksha liberation, or to achieve the Pancha Mahapurushartha, Sri Krishna Prem. So, the goal of life actually encompasses the realization of one's divine essence, or one being the part and parcel of that Paramatma. Mamivamshu Jivaloke Jivabhuta Sanatana. All are eternal part and parcel of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. To realize this truth and transcend oneself through the cycle of birth, old age, disease, and death. So, and finally to experience the eternal bliss, and to reestablish that eternal relationship with Bhagavan Sri Krishna, or to attain the Goloka Vrindavan or Vaikuntha. So, the pursuit of Sri Krishna Prema, pure love for Krishna, is actually often highlighted as a supreme goal of human life, also called a Pancha Mahapurushartha. So, this core aspect or the purpose of life we can see in three different levels. First one is Atma Sakshatkar, or the self-realization. So, this Atma or the soul is the true self, distinct from this physical body, mind, and ego. So, according to the teachings of Veda, each individual is fundamentally the Atma, which is eternal, pure, full of bliss, and realizing this true nature involves understanding that one is not the temporary material body, but immortal living soul. So, this is basically the first and the foremost aim of life, is to realize the true nature of the self. And secondly, it's also the achieving the moksha, or the liberation. The moksha is liberation from the cycle of the samsara, or the birth, old age, disease, death, etc. So, birth, death, rebirth, we can say generally this the cycle. And this is the state of eternal freedom and bliss, where soul is no longer subjected to the suffering and limitation of this material world and this material body. So, moksha is achieved through the self-realization and dissolution of ego, and the overcoming of ignorance, or the avidya. And also, as for Vedic teachings, the ultimate goal of life is, especially in the tradition of bhakti, or the devotion, particularly within the Vaishnavism, the ultimate purpose of life is to develop Sri Krishna Prema, pure, unconditional love and devotion in the lotus feet of Krishna. So, this devotional path emphasizes personal relationship with Bhagavan Sri Krishna, where devotees seek to serve and love Krishna selflessly, ahitukya pratihata, without any hetu, or without any desiring that for self. So, pathways as described in Srimad Bhagavad Gita and different Upanishad and different Purana, that there are generally understood, there are generally described these four pathways for achieving the true purpose of life, generally called Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Raj Yoga, etc. Raj Yoga also called Dhyana Yoga, path of meditation. Karma Yoga also path of action, and Jnana Yoga as path of knowledge. So the path of knowledge involves the pursuit of spiritual knowledge and wisdom through the study or the Swadhyaya study, and complement this contemplation and meditation on the scriptures like Upanishad and Bhagavad Gita. An individual seeks to realize the nature of self and at the same time understand the illusory energy of material world or the Maya. And by understanding the self and the Maya and understanding our eternal or the true relationship with super soul, one can attain the stage of perfection. Whereas in Karma Yoga or the path of action, Karma Yoga teaches selfless action performed without attachment towards the result, or any action performed with the duty, prescribed duty, or as a dharma, and offering the result of that prescribed duty to the super soul or supreme being. So this by dedicating all the actions and its fruit to Sri Krishna and performing one's duties with spirit of service towards the super soul, towards Bhagavan Sri Krishna, an individual purifies the mind and progress towards the self-realization. This path emphasizes ethical living and doing one's duty as one's responsibility as a prescribed duty or a yagya karma. So this is the path of karma. And path of meditation or Raj Yoga, Dhyana Yoga we can call. This involves practice of meditation and mental discipline by controlling the mind and senses through techniques like pranayama and etc. So this system, one can attain higher state of consciousness and realize the true self and its relationship with super soul. Whereas bhakti is prescribed as the most effective and the most powerful means of or the pathway of realizing the self and attaining the Panchamaharpurushartha Sri Krishna Prem. So bhakti focus on cultivating love and devotion on the divine lotus feet of Sri Radha Govinda Deva. Particularly this practices including singing of hymns, chanting of Mahamantra like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, or practicing different rituals and engaging oneself in the service of deity and in the service of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, and at the same time engaging oneself in the service of devotees of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. So this path emphasizes surrendering to Bhagavan Sri Krishna's will and developing personal and loving relationship with that super soul or the absolute beauty. So in regards this path, as we can see that in Bhagavad Gita, in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says that you surrender everything unto me. And in the 18th chapter, Sri Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Pariteja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. This is actually the Bhakti Yoga, or all this. We can see all these four paths: Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, etc. Everything. All these paths are discussed and emphasized by all our scriptures like Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, Srimad Bhagavatam. But at the end, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, abandon all the varieties of this different dharma which I told you and surrender unto me. So I shall deliver you from all the sinful reactions. Do not fear. So this is the Bhakti Yoga. And all the Upanishad focus on the nature of self and the realization of self, and then to re-establish one's relation with that super soul or Sri Krishna. And we can see that all the Upanishad, they actually say that we are part and parcel of that Supreme Brahma, like Tattvamasi, etc. So Srimad Bhagavatam, etc. It extols the path of bhakti and recounts the divine pastimes of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. It teaches pure devotion and love for Krishna as a supreme goal, and through such devotion one can attain anything in the life. So, if we see through the eyes of practical implication of these pathways like ethical living, we can say like ethical living, spiritual practice, detachment, and surrenders. These qualities are developed just by following this path, living accordance with the principle of dharma, principle of shastra, this the conduct of righteousness, and this is essential for the peace and harmony in the society, in the self, in the family, in the nation, and in this whole cosmic manifestation. It involves adhering to moral principles, fulfilling one's duties and responsibilities, and contributing positively to the society. At the same time, regular spiritual practice, including prayer, meditation, study of scriptures, and participation in devotional activities, so is critical for progressing towards the ultimate goal. So cultivating detachment from the material desires and surrendering to the divine will are very important aspect of spiritual growth. This detachment does not mean the renunciation of life, rather engaging in life with a sense of service and devotion. So as for Vedic teachings, the purpose of life is to realize one's true nature is the foremost, and after that is to attain the Krishna Prem. At the same time, as for teachings of Upanishad, to attain the moksha. So the liberation from, to attain the liberation from the cycle of birth and death is the goal of life, and further this goal of life is refined as developing pure love and devotion for Krishna, Sri Krishna Prema. So all the path of yoga, jnana yoga, karma yoga, raja yoga, bhakti yoga provide different approach to attaining the ultimate purpose, emphasizing knowledge, devotion, selfless action, meditation. So by integrating these practices and living in the life of dharma, a person can progress towards self-realization and eternal bliss, that's for sure. That's what everyone wants to have in their life. So basically, as for the Vedic teaching, the goal of life is to realize the self, to understand the self, and to attain the Krishna. Hare Krishna.